Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Thursday, October 19th. We're going to take an updated look at Ebet today. So we had to clear the old levels from Ebet because of this reverse split that it went through a little over 2 weeks ago. And so we have new levels to put in. There's a big gap here. We'll look at any trend lines, and then we'll look over at the Think or Swim study, and we'll call it a video. But first thing is first, we have this gap, but I guess first thing is second, because while we have a clear chart, I want to take a look at the EMAs. So you see, since this confirmed bearish crossover, right? It was threatening on this push to have a bullish crossover with the 8 crossing above the 34 EMA, but it just couldn't hold it. Came down and left a gap here as well, right? So there's another gap to the upside if it ever gets there. And then completed its bearish crossover here on this day when it was down 39%, and has just been trapped well under the 8 EMA ever since, but it's getting mighty close at the moment. So it had another close call there, but this is a really nice sort of cupping pattern, right? A nice round bottom. And so I'm a little bit more interested in this motion than I was of this motion, right? That looks a little bit more like a bear flag. And so I'm interested to see if anything comes of this. I don't know that it will. Obviously, the stock's been under immense distress. Today, notwithstanding, down over 10.5%. So, obviously take any potential for reversal in any stock with a huge grain of salt, because flipping from strong bearish momentum, especially to bullish momentum, is a big feat. If you didn't live through the past few years of the market, just go back and take a look. But we have this gap right here, and it's basically, I'm going to turn this level purple because I would say this is a resistance level as well as a gap level. And so here it's entering the gap, but it's also a resistance level. We see it here, coming into here, and even today. So it's right up against that at the moment, wicked off of there today. So pretty interesting. And then because of the wicks of the candles here and here, and then the body of this candle, I'm going to turn this one purple as well and say not only do we have our gap levels, but we have our first support and resistance levels as well. Now it's pretty thin price action in between there, but I'll put a level here, 40.68. That gap fill, as you see, is 48.50. The gap gets entered at 23.47. And then I don't know if there's anything else to go off of. No, nothing back here is really going to help us. So there's not a ton unless it gets through the gap, and then we have some price action to go off of. So I'd say there's a level here up around 58. And then hey folks, just so you know, you can get these videos early and ad-free. If you click on the description below and become a member, you can make that happen, and I really appreciate the support. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the video. Right about here, 64. So those are the levels. In the gap, if it gets in there, we're just going to have to see what the price action does and let it put in a few candles, and then we might get some levels off of that. But while it is really thin, what I'm going to do if it gets into that gap is just keep an eye on the EMAs and go from there, because that 8 EMA is in the gap. So that's going to be my guiding force for first level of resistance. And then if it does push there, then you have this 40.68 level anyway. But those are huge percentage gains that would have to go through to get into those levels as it is. We do see just tremendously low volume on this motion here, this round bottom. So we'll see if it takes shape and evolves into anything, but I just thought it was potentially interesting, but a big bunch of bearish momentum to overcome in order to get any upward momentum. So just to say, don't get carried away with yourself too quickly. Here we see on the histogram with the TTM squeeze indicator, huge uptick in bearish momentum, and then we do see a couple of days of it dying down. We also see, it had sort of pinned itself to the low mid-range of this channel, and then it started to put in a 3-candle trigger here, and what happened right after that trigger was the counter move. So counter move up, and then the big actual move was down, and that's what we've seen ever since. Now today, even though it's sort of pushed off of that gap level that we were talking about, it's trying to situate a candle body into the channel. So again, nice sort of, it's slight, but it's a slightly nice motion, and it does get a candle into the channel. Now that could mean nothing because it's also still stuck under this red wave cloud, and that's what happened here, right? It got these candles into the channel, but they just got trapped under the wave cloud and then pushed down way, way, way further. So if it can't get into this cloud and continue to push into it, then obviously it's a bust. But in order to make a run at the mid-range of the channel, it has to first get a candle into the channel. So I just thought I'd bring that up, but it's, for me, it's just going to be a bit of a waiting game for now to see, where the next candles get put in, probably into next week, and what's happening there. And again, it is sort of tricky to speculate too much because it is incredibly low volume. So it's hard to take any of these motions with too much confidence because of that low volume. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week has been going well and that you finish it off strong tomorrow. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.